So here I am set up for part 2 of our Newton's Law lab. In part 2, we're going to keep the total mass the same. Now if you remember in part 1, every trial I added more mass to the cart. And this is, I probably should have had this in my first video, but just to highlight what was in our write-up, the total mass is, I have M1 plus M2 plus M3. So M1 is the mass of the cart itself. M2 says any of the extra mass on the cart. M3 is the mass on the string. So whenever you're talking about the mass of this system, I'm talking about everything that's moving. The cart, the masses on the cart, and the mass on the end of the string are all moving together. What's causing to move is just the weight of whatever's on the end of the string. So a couple different concepts there. In this case, we're going to keep the total mass the same. So I have my cart, and from the first video, you know the mass of the cart. I'd have to go back to the video to find it because I didn't write it down. I have 4,000 grams or 4 kilograms extra stacked on here. I have two 1,000s, two 500s, four 200s, a 100, and two 50s. So altogether, I've got 4,000 extra grams or 4 kilograms extra. And so when I say total mass is going to stay the same, what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to take 50 grams off the cart, but I'm going to put that 50 grams on the end of the string. I'm not sure if I can make that happen one-handed. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now the total mass of everything involved stayed the same, so that 50 is still going to be moving with the rest of this. So when I do my trial, now I don't honestly know if 50 grams is going to overcome friction and make this move, but that's going to be my attempt. I will tell you for each case on this, for each trial, what mass is on the end of the string. But please understand that my total mass is always going to be 4,000 grams plus the cart. All right, so I'm going to set this up on my tripod and we'll get started. So part 2, trial 1, 50 grams on the end of the cart, and go. Well, there's trial 1. Trial 1's a no-go, so it's no longer trial 1. So I put the 50 grams back on the cart, and now I'm going to put 100 grams on the end of the string. And because no data was collected, this is now trial 1. And go. Okay. My computer did not collect that, so we're going to back up. It must have timed out on here, so I'm going to click collect again. Alright, one more effort at trial 1, 100 grams on the end of the string. And go. Alright, that time it seemed to work. So, next, I'm going to back this up. I'm going to take a 200 gram mass off the cart. I'm going to put the 200 grams on my string. And I'm going to put the 100 back on the cart. So my total mass of everything has not changed. I just have a different amount of it doing the acceleration. So this is trial 2, 200 grams. And it looks like we collected for that. Okay, so I'm going to keep the 200 on the string, and I'm going to double it to 400 grams on the string. I think I might need to make myself some sort of a little hook to stop my cart. Okay, quick modification, piece of wire to hold the cart back while it gets set. So we have 400 grams on the end of the string. Total mass is still at 4,000 grams. This is trial 3. Alright, looks good. So I think I'm going to continue with the doubling. I had 400. I'm going to try 800. So I got 500, a 200, and a 300. 500, 200, and 100, I should say. Hopefully, get this all in here. I'm having a little bit of problem with my clamp. So my clamp doesn't hold on the table real tight, and this is creating enough tension that it wants to spin. So I'm going to have to check it each time to make sure it's lined up. Looks good. So this is going to be trial number 4. I've got 800 grams on the end. Total mass is still 4,000 grams. This one could get a little bit messy. And go. Okay. So I think I'd like to get 2 more data sets in here. So if I've done 100, 200, 400, 800, I don't think I'm going to try to go for 1,000 or for 1,600, because that's just that's going to be pretty crazy. So I think I'm going to do 2 more trials at 1,000, and maybe I'll get another one at 600. So for the 1,000, I don't have any hooks on my 1,000 gram masses, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 2 500s on here. All right, there's 1,000 grams. Everything else is still piled on here. This is trial 5, 1,000 grams, or 1 kilogram. So definitely I'm not going to try to go with more than that. We'll go backwards and we'll try to fill in a 600 gram. Alright, so yes, I think we got 7 trials on part 1. I'm only doing 6 trials on part 2. I think that should be okay. And hopefully I have a big enough difference in the different amounts I put on here. Okay, so this will be our 6th set of data. 600 grams on the end of the string. Okay, so I'm going to finish off this video and send it to you along with the data table, and you need to do some analysis. So you need to think that you're doing this like you were my partner, you were here in the lab, you helped to make these measurements. You're recording what did you do, what did you find, what is the actual data that you measured, and what are the calculations that you are doing with it. And if you look at the lab sheet, I'm expecting that you're going to result in a chart or graph for each part that's going to show you a type of relationship. If you look at the formula that we already talked about for Newton's second law, you hopefully can look at the formula and see what kind of relationship you expect to get. Think about that as you're going. But we'll see if our lab results verify that at all. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. So take care of yourselves, work on this. Tomorrow's assignment is probably going to be more work time on this. I'll think that through and I'll put it in my Google Classroom notes.